She's dazzling in the boardroom. Harvard MBA, flawless presentations, strategies that save companies millions, a resume that commands respect. But then she casually suggests that the team should celebrate at a five-star restaurant, naturally, on the company card, and you see everyone exchange nervous glances. Later, she insists that a real gentleman always pays, and eyebrows quietly lift. Then, in private, she confesses confusion over why her last 3 perfect relationships ended abruptly. The contradiction is jarring. You know this woman, or at least you've met her archetype. The colleague who can model financial scenarios with surgical precision, yet cannot fathom why men won't commit. The stunning friend with a psychology PhD who somehow believes her looks exempt her from learning the fundamentals of partnership. And it is here that we confront one of the most fascinating and destructive paradoxes of modern life. Why do so many extraordinary women, intelligent, accomplished, breathtakingly beautiful, make astonishingly poor decisions about love and relationships? The answer is brutal in its simplicity. They've been systematically lied to, not once in a while, not occasionally, but relentlessly, for years, for decades, in ways so consistent and so pervasive that truth itself has become extinct in their world. The economics of extinction. When a woman possesses something men desperately want, her beauty, her presence, her attention, those men learn quickly that honesty is a losing strategy. Truth rarely wins affection. But flattery, strategic agreement, emotional management disguised as sincerity, that often works spectacularly. So men adapt. They tell her what she wants to hear, not what she needs to hear. The incentive is too powerful. Honesty risks rejection. Dishonesty often leads to intimacy. Over time, this doesn't just distort her perception, it annihilates it. She lives in a parallel universe, one where cause and effect follow different laws, one where her beauty shields her from the natural consequences that everyone else must face. And the tragedy? She doesn't even know it's happening. She accepts the lies as reality, builds her worldview on them, and then acts accordingly, only to sabotage herself in the process. She becomes, unknowingly, a master of her own destruction. The origin of the trap. The deception begins early. She's 13, maybe 14. Yesterday she was an awkward child. Then puberty strikes like a lightning bolt. Overnight, the world tilts. Adults stare. Boys follow her. Even strangers change their behavior. Suddenly she wields immense social and sexual power. She neither understands nor is equipped to manage. But here's the critical detail. She's still a child emotionally. She has acquired adult-level influence without adult-level maturity. And from that moment, the truth evaporates from her life. Every interaction becomes a negotiation. Every compliment, every piece of feedback, every gesture of support, all of it is filtered through male desire. She's no longer interacting with objective reality. She's interacting with other people's agendas. The honesty-sex contradiction. Being honest with a beautiful woman doesn't usually get a man sex. Being dishonest often does. That contradiction shapes everything. It's the equivalent of a teacher asking for opinions but punishing every student who doesn't give the right one. Soon, students stop answering truthfully. They optimize for survival, not accuracy. That's exactly what happens in her relationships. She thinks she's asking for truth. She's really asking for validation. And she punishes those who give her what she actually needs. Result? The information ecosystem collapses. Truth goes extinct. only strategic lies survive. Why men won't tell her the truth. There are only a few categories of men who consistently do. 1. The radically principled. Men for whom integrity is worth more than approval. Rare, often punished for it, but unshakable. 2. The neurodivergent. Men who literally can't process why a lie would be preferable to an uncomfortable truth. 3. Family. Fathers, brothers. Men who aren't vying for her body but invested in her actual well-being. Everyone else? They adapt to survive, which leaves her stranded in a desert of deception, thirsty for reality but unable to recognize it when it arrives. The power-wisdom gap. This creates what I call the power-wisdom disaster. Most people who gain influence do so gradually. Leaders, professionals, creators, they earn authority step by step, developing judgment as their power grows. But beauty doesn't work like that. It confers massive power overnight. A teenage girl suddenly commands the emotions and decisions of grown men without ever learning how or why. She inherits the scepter without first learning the throne, and power without wisdom is a recipe for catastrophe. The cycle of self-sabotage. Here's the irony. All of this validation, all of this flattery, all of this shielding from consequence, it produces the exact opposite of what she wants. She wants love. She gets manipulation. She wants partnership. She gets men who tolerate dysfunction for access but never commit. She wants long-term success in relationships. She gets a revolving door of failed attempts built on lies. This is the tragedy. Beauty can attract everything but cannot sustain anything without truth. Why it matters. This isn't about blaming beautiful women, nor about vilifying men. It's about understanding the system. Men respond rationally to incentives. Women respond rationally to the information they're given. But when the incentive structure rewards dishonesty and punishes truth, reality itself gets destroyed. The result is pain for everyone. Women lose access to the reality they need. Men lose integrity, bending themselves for validation. Society loses the potential for authentic connection between the sexes. The way out, the only antidote, is brutal but simple. Truth. Beautiful women must consciously seek it, even when it wounds their pride. Men must summon the courage to deliver it, even when it costs them short-term rewards. Families must insist on accountability, even when it's easier to enable delusion. And society must stop treating beauty as a hall pass, exempting people from the lessons reality demands of all of us. Because the truth is this: beauty without grounding corrodes from the inside out. What was once an extraordinary advantage decays into a curse. But beauty combined with truth, that is unstoppable. And that's why beautiful women are often relationship stupid. Not because they lack intelligence, but because they've been denied reality their entire lives. Beauty warped their feedback loop, insulated them from truth, and left them armed with power, but starved of wisdom. The tragedy isn't that they're shallow, it's that they were never given the tools to be anything else. And the ones who finally break free, the women who stop punishing truth and start seeking it, those are the ones who get to have both beauty and happiness.